Yeah, no, I definitely owe it to Vern because he kickstarted this whole thing, and I fell in love with it. So yeah, it's amazing. I wish I could tell him how thankful I am for that. So
The one, the only, it's Linden Porco.
how you doing? Thank you very much for
Great.
having me. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
We're so excited.
Oh.
Linden, where are you joining us from today?
So I'm actually in Vancouver, Canada.
Okay. So it's probably
our friend Larry Musser who lives there too.
Yeah.
Say hi to Larry for us.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's probably a little colder in Vancouver than it is in Miami right now.
Or Houston.
Well, yeah, probably. It's not too bad. I think it's like 8 degrees Celsius here, which is don't know exactly what it is Fahrenheit.
We don't either.
Nope. We do not do math on this stream, but I'm sure it's a lot colder.
Americans are terrible at conversions. I don't know. It's probably different or something.
Yeah. Metric system. Anyway, Linden, we really appreciate you being here. So I guess we're just going to kind of start from the beginning. What would you say are some of your inspirations that made you decide that you wanted to join this world of acting?
I think what got me into it was I did a couple of photo shoots for like Toys R Us when I was a baby and kind of modeling, I guess you could say toys for kids and whatnot. And then it kind of led to me being on Santa's lap. I was working on a TV show. It was called Naughty. I think the TV show episode was called Naughty or Nice. And so that was with, I believe it was with George Lopez at the time. And, I was 6 years old and all I had to do was sit on Santa's lap and tell him what I wanted for Christmas. And I was like, oh, this is easy. So what do you want to know? I want this, I want this, I want this, but then it really kicked in when I started taking acting classes at MTYP, which is Manitoba Theatre for Young People. And when I was 6 years old, I started taking those classes, which led to more classes, which led to, where I am right now. But what really set me off is I actually met Vern Troyer at the World of Wheels back in 2004, I believe. And he has the same type of dwarfism as me. And so we ended up getting along and having a great time and talking. He asked me what I was interested in. And I said to him, acting's always kind of been there. And he's like, well, how about I get you in contact with my manager and we'll try and set something up and do something for you. And one thing led to another. And I think like 2 weeks or a month later, I get a call saying, hey, they're looking for this little person to send in and be basically a body double. But we need to see how active you are and, what you can do physically and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll go kick the ball around, play some hoops, throw a dodgeball, do all this kind of stuff. And another 2 weeks went by, I got a phone call. My mom, told the rest of my family to get on the other line. And they're like, hey, we want you for this part in Little Man. I'm like, wait. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into at the time. Well, ended up going down to LA and doing a screen test and all these things, and they treated me like gold. It was unbelievable, and so ever since then I've been hooked, and I love it. There's nothing else I'd rather do.
That's awesome.
Sweet hookup.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that seems like it happened pretty quick for you too. I mean, I don't know how many actors it's that fast.
Right.
I did want to mention that a couple of years ago I had the opportunity to do a panel for Vern.
Oh yeah.
And
wow.
I did in I think it was Tampa. Yeah, a couple of years ago, and he was a really, really cool, funny, genuine, down to earth guy. So
yeah, he was amazing, and what happened to him, and it's due to my heart, and what he did for me in my career. So I can't thank him enough, and yeah, I owe it basically all to him. So.
That's wonderful. And Jude does have what I think is a really good question here. Did Vern give you any advice when starting out that you hold on to today?
I think it was more just kind of getting to know each other, and I was like 7 or 8 years old at the time, and I was just a kid that was seeking, some life advice in the sense of just being a little person and what it's like in this day and age. But I think the one thing that I really noticed that kind of sticks with me is just how much fun he was having with his guests while they were coming up, and he was signing autographs for them, and just so genuine, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all we can do is just to be, happy where we are and give back to the people who are supporting us. So
fair.
Yeah.
And this kind of leads into it, having met him so young. You are one of our youngest guests that we've had on the show. So I mean, that kind of leads to, you kind of answered the question, I guess, already of what do you attribute your success so far? And it sounds like Vern Troyer is a pretty good pretty good example of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was definitely him. I mean, he really kickstarted excuse me, my interest in the business. And I mean, it's kind of crazy what happened with it, right? To go from, like you said, it being kind of so fast in a sense of, a lot of people have to work a long time in order to get onto a movie set like Little Man. It just happened to, they weren't necessarily going to use me in it, in the sense they were gonna put, like, they had a mask that we tried on the first day that they didn't like the look of and whatnot, and so then it led to special effects to have me wear a cap with red triangles on it, to then have Marlon Wayans do green screen after my 8 hours, because I was only a kid at the time, that's all I could work for. They would go and shoot for another like 8 hours in that day, like 48 hours after they were done shooting me. So it was crazy. Yeah. And I didn't want to leave the set either, so I was always there after, and not technically supposed to be, but I was like, I'm going anywhere.
We won't tell. Don't worry, you're safe with us.
You're an adult now. It's fine.
Yeah.
I definitely owe it to Vern, because he kickstarted this whole thing, and I fell in love with it. So it's amazing. I wish I could tell him how thankful I am for that. So, yeah.
Well, not to pivot away from acting, because we're definitely going to get back to that, but looking at your Instagram, one of the things that Danica and I realized is that you love the sport of golf. And my dad is also a golfer. He's been golfing his whole life. So I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, what do I ask a fellow golfer? What are the good golf questions? So this is what we came up with. All right. Have you ever been or attended any golf tournaments? And if you have, or even haven't, do you have a favorite tournament?
I haven't as of yet. One that I've always wanted to go to would be like the Masters. Would be unbelievable to watch all the professionals and whatnot. But the reason for that is, as well, is my parents are huge golfers as well, so I would love to take my parents with me there, because that would be awesome, and just to see the look on their face would be great. But the Waste Management is also some place where I'd like to go with some buddies, because they have a couple of beers and on the 16th hole, and it gets a little rowdy. So those would be the two places where I would love to attend for sure.
I think it's like, because my dad did get to go to one of like the Masters games like a couple of years back, but it was like the like a day before. So like when they were practicing or something. I think it's like a lottery, right? Like you really have to you either I don't know how he did it, but he was there. So
that's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, this will probably show the very, very small amount of that I know about golf, because sports and I don't generally mix. So. But have you ever gotten a hole-in-one, or if you have not, what is the closest you've gotten? Because I can categorically say I never have. So anyone that can do that, you are our king.
Maybe a putt we have, Danica, but
maybe.
No, I haven't gotten a hole-in-one. I've had a couple of close calls, in the sense of I thought it was going to go in, but then it rolled past the hole. So, but actually this year, I got my first birdie ever, which is kind of crazy. So
okay. And
for a little person playing golf and getting a birdie at least in my book, I'll take that for sure.
I agree.
For those of us who are not in the know, what could you explain what a birdie?
Yeah, a birdie is basically, let's say it's a par 4. You would sink the golf ball in the hole on your third shot. So it'd be 1 under par.
1 under par, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yay, golf. So, okay, a really weird side question I'm going to ask, because I think I also saw at one point you had posted something about Impractical Jokers. Are you a fan of the show, Impractical Jokers, or was this just...
Yeah, I think, I do.
Okay. Did you ever see the episode with Sal when his punishment was to go on the golf course and just play through other people's balls that were already on the green?
I don't think I've seen that episode, no, but that would be some of the stuff that they do in that show. I get so uncomfortable by them doing this thing. They just do it so naturally, and I guess they've been doing it for so many years that it's like, oh well, we'll tell them it's a joke later, but I'm just gonna do this. It's like, oh my heart!
Nope, can't do it. Yeah, Danica and I, we had Casey Jost who does the Impractical Insiders, and we were doing the thing where people had given us fake names that we had to say without laughing. Impossible, at least for me. I can't do it. I just laugh all the time. I can't.
That would be crazy. That'd be pretty funny.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's crazy. It's really hard.
Oh, if you want to read fake names, I'm sure we have a couple that Jude had saved for the last one, so we can throw a couple up there. But okay, so the final golf question for you would be who would be in your ideal golf foursome? And I guess we could say, real people or fictional people too.
Interesting. Okay, well, one is definitely Tiger Woods because I was a fan of him growing up, and I have a tiger on my driveway, so that's definitely one for sure. I think Spider-Man would be pretty sick to play golf with.
Dude.
But would he follow?
Would he cheat?
Yeah, would he cheat?
Oh, he'd just get up.
He
would just hit it. He would just hit his driver 450 yards.
Yeah.
So long, losers.
You could play best ball with him and you'd win for sure. So that'd be.
I mean, that's yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Spider-Man, Tiger Woods, and who's the other one?
Oh gosh. Ricky Fowler. I always loved him.
Okay. Yes. One of my dad's favorites too, for sure.
He's always got some great outfits that he wears, and always wearing those bright oranges. And,
the Puma or whatever, right?
Oh yeah, I think it's Puma.
Yeah, woo! Puma. I did something. Golf. Okay, so
you said Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
I know that one.
Oh my God, Happy Gilmore. Why didn't I think of that? Oh.
Or Bob Barker even.
Bob Barker. I don't remember the old guy's name who's his trainer. Just tap it in.
Tap it in.
What is his name? Darn it. Okay. Anyway, so Danica. Chubbs, thank you.
Oh, man.
That's a golden movie.
All right.
We're going to pivot. Again, we're doing a lot of pivoting. So
it happens.
Because of some of the films you've been in, we have to ask, were you a fan of horror films growing up? And if so, do you have a favorite?
So, interesting enough, I was actually scared shitless of horror.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, I think I watched Poltergeist when I was young with a couple of friends because they enjoy scary movies, and that was my tipping point where I told myself I'm not going to watch scary movies ever in my entire life.
I understand that.
Which then led to my buddies in high school saying, "Oh, we got to go to this movie. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to this. What was it? It was one of the, oh gosh, the doll movies. What was
Annabelle or Conjuring or
one of those. And I think it was Annabelle with the dollhouse and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, oh gosh, Oh no, you know what it was as well. So I went to one of those and I was like, I'm not doing this ever again. I said it, and then they convinced me another time. I'm like, why am I fucking doing this? Like, I don't enjoy it. I'm scared shitless. Like so they convinced me to go to Ouija.
Oh, I haven't
Oh,
been able to
Ouija.
bring
Oh,
myself
yeah.
to see that.
Yeah, we have stories about Ouija boards, Danica and I.
And then the scene where they cut the strings that she has her lips sewn shut.
Oh, cute. Love that for her. Okay. No, haven't seen it.
Yikes.
You haven't seen it? Oh, okay.
No.
Anyway.
No.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. But that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Shit out of me. I was literally in the movie theater with my sweater over my eyes like this. Hold up, I'm like.
That's how Danica and I saw. I remember watching like through one eyeball, like holding her hand, like.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Yeah, no, that scared the shit out of me. That's been a couple of years now, but now that I've been in more horror movies, I don't get as scared as easily anymore, so I can watch them, which is nice because I'm like, oh, I know how they did that. I know how they did that. Cool.
There is that, yeah. There's at least that aspect where you can there's that little bit of distance that you can put between yourself that you're like, oh, okay, clearly that was just a really good prop. But like, come on, if it's a really good prop, I'm still fucking scared.
Yeah, no. like we've had Damien Leone, who's the writer director of Terrifier. You know, we've had special effects makeup artists on here. They could literally tell me, oh yeah, this is how you saw a human in half, and I'd still be like, no thanks, I'm good. But I think the reason why now I appreciate horror movies so much is because they make you feel something. They give you that emotion of fear. And so, you know, whenever I leave a movie theater and I'm so scared, I'm like, I feel alive, you know, like I don't know.
I never put it that way before. That's a great way to put it.
That is not the kind of alive I need to feel. So I'm not a horror chaser.
Well, I am. Okay, so we have to ask about the Leprechaun film that you were in. And so what can you tell us about the actual process of getting in and out of the Leprechaun costume during Leprechaun Returns?
So it was the first time we did basically the screen test, which is actually the first time we put it on, which was the screen test, was actually the time we filmed the trailer for it.
Oh, damn.
So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was kind of shocking. I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this right now.
Go!
All right, let's go. Sweet. So that process was seven hours. That first time that they put it on, it was definitely a little long.
Yeah.
They wanted to obviously make sure it was perfect, and which it was. It was amazing. And we got the process down after that to 3 hours every day. So that was nice.
Still a few hours, okay.
Yeah.
At that point, when you go from 7 to 3, I was like, okay, whatever. This is
cakewalk.
Yeah.
And they were unbelievable, putting it on and taking it off as well. So Karen taking it off, that I'm like, at the end of the day, get this thing off of me and let's go. I want to be out of here in 30 minutes. I would rip it off. No, just kidding. But it was great. I mean, they put it on with so much detail and so much thought behind it, and every time we did it, it was a new experience, because some things always go wrong, in the sense of a certain piece that was molded might not fit the same way as this other piece did, right? So it's like it's basically like putting together a puzzle that have similar parts but don't necessarily fit the same way each time. And
it's a puzzle on your face.
It's glued to you.
Yeah. I like this comment from Leppy Laddie saying that it was hot in the costume. So you all shot in South Africa. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was an awesome experience as well. Yeah,
I bet.
It was crazy to first off go to South Africa, and so I had to take my mom with me at the start, and so we went 10 days early to see, go sightseeing and whatnot. which was awesome because we got to spend some quality time with her. Although she wanted to go do more sightseeing, and I'm like, Mom, I'm here to work. I gotta
right.
I gotta review my lines. I gotta review the script. I gotta work. And she's like, oh, I know, but how about we go over here and we check this out? I'm like, Ma, you can go and do that by yourself. Like
you have to.
I've seen it all with you already. Come on, like
spread my wings.
Yeah. So no, but that was great. That is something that I'll always cherish. And being there with her. Unfortunately, my dad was, I'm going to say, an idiot and didn't come with me because I don't know what he's doing. Fair. But that's all in love. That's all in love for sure.
Fair.
But no, he regrets it. I'm sure he does because that would have been awesome as well. And then my mom could have gone sightseeing with him instead of
There you go, right? But that has to feel pretty amazing to be part of this iconic franchise. I mean, like, Leprechaun is like legit.
So. That's one of the movies that I saw part of when I was way too young to see. The really old ones. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can't do it. It's too much. It's too scary. And I can't do it. No, thank you.
But Jennifer Aniston, though, she is my savior. I love her. But Linden, do you think that there's a possibility that they'll make another film in the Leprechaun series, or?
I'm always hopeful for it, for sure. I think that we got a pretty decent response on this last one. It was liked by a lot of people, which was great. Obviously, you get those people that say Warwick obviously did it better and all that stuff, which is understandable. I mean, Warwick Davis was and is the Leprechaun. I'm not gonna take that away from him, and what he did a great job. Mm-hmm. I tried to bring a little bit of my own flair to it as well, and do as best as my ability to bring in keep the same vision, but bring in my own little twists and turns to it, and I hope I did that. So.
And I think that's really important for audience members to understand with anything that's like part of a legacy sort of sequels of different things, is that especially if you don't have the same actor playing it, actors have basically a responsibility to make it their own. Like if they just make it like the other person did it, then there's nothing really new about it, and there's why you're watching it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the opportunity to meet Warwick?
I have not. That is something that I would have loved to do. If it was not the process beforehand, that would have been very helpful as well. Mm-hmm. But even to ask if he's seen it and what he thought, and to get his thoughts and what I could have done better to portray the Leprechaun and whatnot. If there is another one, because he did say that he doesn't want to do another Leprechaun in the sense before his kids get older, right? So, if they wanted to do another one, that I would love to be a part of that as well, and even bring more to the table. So, yeah,
we'll keep fingers crossed.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
All right, so now we're gonna give you our first kind of weird question, but it kind of goes along with the theme of leprechauns. So, do you believe in cryptids, and which would you most want to meet if they were real? Cryptids, of course, for everybody watching, being, how do we put this? Think of like Nessie, Bigfoot,
the Yeti, Mothra. Would you say like
no, Mothman?
Mothman, not Godzilla.
Godzilla's nemesis.
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra, yeah.
So yeah,
so, like fantastic creatures that have some sort of maybe basis in possibly reality. That
leprechauns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Trolls.
I think aliens would be pretty sick.
Ooh.
To just like talk to them and whatnot. And...
What if they're squids?
Like from Simpsons, like.
Squids, not so much.
Okay. Wait. Sorry, squid aliens listening right now. Shoo.
Yeah,
Okay, so
might creep me out a little bit, but like a normal alien. I don't know what a normal alien actually is, but
I don't know.
That's the great question.
Okay, so you're saying the truth is out there. That's what I'm getting from this conversation.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, show me a sign, I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, okay, one of the things that Danica and I are always interested in is the process of motion capture. So what can you tell us about the performing motion capture for Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting?
So I was basically in the opposite of what they did kind of in Little Man. I was for Babysitter's Guide, I was actually in a green suit, and I would say the lines as well as be the movement for these so-called toadies, and that was an interesting experience as well because doing the physical actions kind of for every part that I've done, I've always tried to the movement and the way the person talks plays a huge factor in the character and becoming the character.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It was fun to, as soon as I would do the voice, I would you would feel it I would feel it in my body that I would transform into the character basically, which is something that I've noticed that I really enjoy about my technique when I do get a part is transforming into the character, and it's different each time, but it makes it. I find it makes it better, and it makes it more unique too. So that was a lot.
I mean, that's just a mark of a good actor,
right?
If you're playing somebody else, maybe this one walks more slowly, maybe this one walks more quickly, maybe this one has a limp because they got in an accident or something. It's like, you have to consider their history before you can actually put it into your own body. And then, like you're saying, like their voice and the way that they move indicates to the actor this is part of their history, and then I have to work that into how they move. So I love that.
Backstory.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, more Babysitter's Guide. So you got to work with Tom Felton during Babysitter's Guide.
Yes.
But what house would you be sorted into at Hogwarts?
Oh gosh,
Slytherin.
I think I would be Gryffindor. I really do. I don't know.
Okay.
I would be part of the Gryffindor gang.
Okay. Danica, what about you? I don't think we've ever sorted you.
Yeah, I don't think I've been sorted, but I think it's very likely that I'm Slytherin.
Okay, I thought so. I knew it.
Very likely.
I knew it. You're like a Slytherin with Ravenclaw rising. I don't know if that's like it's like a horoscope. I don't know.
I could see it.
I'll take it.
Sure, fair. Okay, so since we want to get to the game in a few, let's jump around a little bit, Danica. So one of the questions we wanted to ask, we saw a picture with you and the amazing, incredible, the GOAT, Chris Jericho. So we wanted to know about you meeting him, which I believe was at a convention that you both were guests at. But we also wanted to know if you are a wrestling fan in general.
So when I was growing up, me and my father would, watch every week. We would watch wrestling, and so I started to have a lot of fun and obviously, mimic the movements and, the RKO. And my favorite was actually Rey Mysterio. And so that was,
we love, we've had him on the show. Yeah, he's amazing. We love him. Yeah.
Yeah. So growing up, I would love the 619.
Booyaka, booyaka.
Yeah. Oh, I was so sick the way you would use the ropes and knock the person back. It was awesome to watch. But Chris Jericho was also somebody that, because he was from Winnipeg, that I would always keep my eye on. So to meet him, that was a pretty surreal moment too. So that was awesome.
Dude, I feel like there's a lot of really great wrestlers because I think Edge and Christian are also from Winnipeg, maybe Manitoba, and then I think Kenny Omega, and I'm probably I think he's also from the same area in Canada, right? Maybe. Cool, great, all right, neat. Wrestling. I should know these things. This is the industry I'm in. Danica, do you want to ask one more, and then we'll go to the game?
So I am very curious. Let's ask that first.
Okay.
If you're a wrestler, what would your finisher be?
Oh gosh,
that seems important.
Okay, I have an idea. Okay, are you ready for this?
Sure.
So, and I think that it's a gimmick that's been done before because there's been a golfer gimmick. But what if you do something like with like a golf swing or a golf club? I mean, with or without the club. But I'm thinking maybe a little Thor, you know? That's just the first thing that came to my mind.
I think what I would have to do, my finisher, would be I'd have to, and this might sound a little crazy.
That's cool.
Like crazy. Punch them in the nuts, right?
Okay, yeah.
Jump down and get on my level.
Okay.
And then I would, because they would reach down, and then I think I would like kick them in the back of the leg to even get them on their knees further. And then I would do some type of like RKO move where I would just grab them on the back and drop.
Oh, okay, cool. Don't mess with Linden.
It would be like a 3-move finisher, I think.
Right, a 3-part. Any ideas for like a wrestling name? That's a harder question.
Oof. Wrestling name.
I mean, because I feel like you already have a very strong stage name, like or birth given name. Linden Porco is like good, really good.
I think Little Man would be sick.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. Cool, man. Well, we await your debut.
We know people.
Yeah. We know. So, Danica, you ask one more, and then we'll go to the game.
One more question. Yes. So now that you've been, of course, bitten by the acting bug, are there any other parts of production that you're interested in? Design, directing, producing? Anything that you want to dip your toes into?
Yeah, so I just got off today with a friend of mine about a script that I've been working on for a decent amount of time. So just kind of figuring out the parts, as well as, obviously directing, producing. I think all the above is my eventual goal to be a part of it. To also get more familiar with all the other departments in acting as well, because the more you know, the better you are, in my opinion, when it comes to that stuff. That way you know what they are talking about when they're talking about lighting or set deck and whatnot. So I love every aspect of acting. I want to I would drown myself in it if I could, because there's just nothing else I'd rather do. And I love every aspect of it because it's just so unique. And every project that you create, it takes everyone's heart to create it. And I find when you put all those hearts and the minds together, it's fabulous. Yeah.
So do you sincerely appreciate that? Being in theater myself and, knowing that you're also a writer now, which is super cool. And we definitely want to get into that at some point. But,
well, I guess out of curiosity, do you have a preference as far as writing for film or for stage?
So that's the thing that I wish back when I was starting to take acting classes and whatnot, it's so long to say now, but back then I was told to, you have to choose which area of acting you want to go into. Do you want to go into theater or film? And so I chose film at the time. And so for a while, because of that mentality or that mindset that they said to me, I was not very, involved in the theater group, and so now looking back, I'm like, how the hell did you listen to them? Like, why? They're both two of the same thing in a sense. You know what I mean? Like they obviously there's the difference between them, but you're still acting, and you're limiting yourself by only going into one direction rather than both. So
right.
Yeah, that was something that one thing that I do regret about my past, that I wish I learned more about the theater world and what that entails. For sure.
It's never too late, and it's not going anywhere.
No,
I mean, well,
sure. and I've started to do it as well. So I did actually a writing course that was primarily based on theater and some of the terms and whatnot. And so I found it very interesting, and I definitely want to look into that further for sure.
Well, I'm happy to help.
Awesome, yeah, definitely.
You have multiple master's degrees in it, so.
Oh wow, that's unbelievable! Holy crap,
it's fun.
That's awesome.
I'm old. It's fine.
Anyway, so, all right, Linden, we have a game of Would You Rather. So there's no wrong answers. And if you want to elaborate on why you picked something, that's fantastic. If not, we'll just move right along to the next one. So Danica's going to get this party started. This is the first Would You Rather graphic.
Would you rather live in a world where leprechauns exist, the not good kind, or live in a world where Chucky exists?
You gotta do this to me, the first question.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, we go there,
man.
There's no wrong answers.
It's true.
We've had people pull a both before. I mean, like, if you want to pull a both, that's fine.
How about this? How about Leprechaun and Chucky team up?
Okay.
Oh,
okay. So what does that look like?
Well, I think they would have some differences at the start, which would then have them fighting at the beginning, but then they would realize that they both want the same thing.
Oh, and they fall in love.
Well, I mean,
that could be an option. That could be an option.
We've had Freddy versus Jason. Now, Leprechaun versus Chucky. Look for it in 2022. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather wear a Canadian tuxedo to every premiere or have to wear a pair of Crocs to every premiere? Not necessarily with socks. That's just a bonus if you choose to wear the socks.
I think the socks add to it.
Okay, great. Well, sure.
Honestly, they don't really make Crocs in my size, so I'm going to have to go with a Canadian tuxedo.
Gotcha.
Well, then, you can get even more creative with it. Make a full suit, apparently.
So much denim, but I love denim. All right, here's the next one.
Next one. Would you rather have the skin texture of a lizard or have seal flappers for arms? Where do we come up with this stuff?
You came up with this one, Danica. I'm not taking credit for this one at all.
I absolutely did. Because seal flappers are hilarious. Come on.
Sure.
I don't know which one I'm going to go with. This is interesting because seal flappers, would be for swimming, and I love to swim. Skin texture. I think I'm going to go with the seal flappers.
Yeah. It's a good choice.
I respect
It's a good choice. It's a good choice, yeah.
So it's like, if you have the skin texture of a lizard, but you're still warm-blooded, you would just have to moisturize all the time. That just doesn't sound fun.
You have to be sponsored by who makes lotion? Jergens?
Aveeno?
Yeah, Aveeno. Call us Aveeno. Hey. All right. Here's the next one.
I already have to do that, and I do not have lizard skin.
All right. Would you rather be able to speak Dothraki or be able to raise dead like the Night King?
I mean, I think it's in my nature to, with the movies I've done, to, raise the dead like a night. I think I gotta go there for sure. Yeah.
So
I enjoy that it's in your nature.
Maybe he's going with it. What was your, and sorry to get controversial, but what was your opinion on the final season
of Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't dislike it. I thought that some people said it was rushed, and I could see that. But I mean, the way they did it in the fight scenes that they had, and then the way it ended was, pretty mind blowing.
Yeah. So, I didn't hate it either. I'm one of those people that was like, I think the reason why everyone was like, was because we didn't see it coming, and because it's not what everyone had predicted, and they gave us something different, that everyone was just like, like, get over it. Like, you know?
I think that they could have probably done, you know, because was it like only 6 episodes for the last season?
It was like 6 to 7 or 8 or something. Yeah, it was very short. Yeah, like, it wasn't a full season.
There was normally 10, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I obviously wouldn't have said no to more episodes in the last season. But they also, when you look back on it, they did make a lot of the episodes like an hour and 30 minutes long, and I believe there was almost like a 2-hour one as well, right? So technically, you know, it was up there in the episodes, but it was just, you know, based on the time and whatnot. So
yeah, people just like to complain.
They do.
I think so.
Welcome to the world. Yeah. But I agree. I didn't mind it at all. All right, next one.
All right. Would you rather have to travel everywhere by train or travel everywhere by bus? I don't know about Canadian bus systems, but in America, not.
Well, is it my own bus or is
it? Okay. Well, there we go. There's another level. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Danica?
Your own train?
Well,
Linden, do you have a train? Does it have the ability to travel through time?
Greyhound.
Okay, Greyhound. So that answers that. So it's not your own bus, Linden. Sorry. We are revoking your bus.
Gosh darn it, I wanted it my own bus.
Well, listen.
We'll give you a bus.
You get a bus.
Just by the nostalgic of the train, I think I'll have to go with the train.
There we go. Okay.
I like the nostalgia aspect of that, yeah.
And it's not the Snowpiercer train. So, all right, here's the next one. Would you rather sneeze every time you step outside or yawn every time every conversation? When you see the word yawn, you have to yawn.
They're gonna make me yawn.
I know. It's contagious.
Well, with what's going on right now, definitely I'll have to go with the yawn.
Yeah. Oh, fair. Yeah, because if you sneeze outside, people are going to be like,
oh, he's got
allergies? What's happening?
Don't exist.
Yeah, I know. It's the worst time to have allergies. You have to do that thing where you like hold it in. And you're like,
I'm not gonna lie, I take an allergy pill every day. Just in case.
Yeah. You never know. All right. Next one.
Was this me? Oh.
You.
Would you rather get a hole-in-one once every game or play a round of golf with Max Homa?
Play around with Max Homa, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Awesome.
Pretty good choice.
Yeah. It's good choice. Who needs holes in one when you have Spider-Man on your team? I don't know. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather? Oh, this is the last one. Okay. Compete on a reality show like Hell's Kitchen or compete on Big Brother?
Ooh. Big Brother would be a fun show to be a part of for sure. I love to cook, and I think, being on Hell's Kitchen would be sweet. So I think I would have to go with Hell's Kitchen on this one for sure.
So you want Gordon Ramsay just yelling up in your face?
At you all day.
Well, he might get a depends on what he says. He might get a pan thrown in his direction too.
Fair. Mm-hmm. So
maybe not in his direction, but like somewhere in.
Do you have like a favorite cuisine that you like to cook, or just maybe like a favorite thing in general to make?
I love, I love stir fries. I mean, it sounds pretty simple, but stir fries, and I do keep it pretty simple in a sense. But me and my pops do like to make a chicken parmesan.
Okay.
That's something that
that
I pride myself on for sure.
Yeah, I now would like some chicken parmesan. You could just send some down to Miami. I'm sure we can find a way to, package that from Canada. We'd appreciate it. But
with the the essentials on the side, the directions, and I can figure something out, right?
Okay, great. Let's talk because I'm so serious.
Like a personal chef in the form of like the fresh meal kit things that you can get now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fair. But since oh my gosh, this went by way too fast. I guess maybe like a final question that we can ask is, do you have any upcoming projects that you're maybe able to tell us about, or anything that you're currently working on now?
So there is a movie. It's called Mr. Sandman that I am going to be a part of. That is hopefully shooting sometime this year. There's also a movie called Stream that I'm also connected to, which I'm hopeful to be a part of as well. And then I just got finished shooting Nightmare Alley. I had a small part on that as well. And yeah, that was that's what's kind of going on. And then obviously, writing my own stuff. But it was the Nightmare Alley actually is Del Toro. He's actually the one that was doing it.
Oh, damn.
Cool.
He said the word. That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
How cool.
That was a great experience for sure.
Wow.
Man, I bet. Oh, that's so cool.
Well, any final thoughts that you want to leave us with here today?
No, I just thank you very much for having me. I appreciate you having me on, and yeah, thank you so much.
We're so pleased that you could join us today. This is so much fun.
Yeah,
doing this.
This is awesome, and I love the questions that you guys do. That was would you rather? That's awesome. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, we just like to get the opportunity. I mean, like, I think that a lot of performers hear the same questions a lot, which is totally fine and totally valid. But we figured that in those questions is usually something that you haven't heard before. So we like to keep people on their toes. So
yeah.
Danica, before you wrap it up, you want to go over our upcoming guests that we have?
Let's do it. All right, coming up very soon on Tuesday the 19th, we have Mr. Steve Gonsalves
from Ghost Nation.
And then on Thursday the 21st, we have Ludos, Tim Convey, and Andrew Volpe.
Word.
And then on Friday, we have a special bonus episode, Friday the 22nd, with Miss Jordan Grace.
She is a professional wrestler currently seen on Impact. And a couple other ones we want to mention. We have Josh Petersdorf, who is the voice of Roadhog. We have Casey Jost from Practical Jokers Insider. Edward Furlong's going to be joining us. Corey Taylor, Dean Cameron. We have Icarus Bell coming back. We're keeping busy, and we appreciate,
man.
Yeah, it's
we love
happening.
It.
I need a nap. But, Linden, it's been an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And hopefully once everything, resumes, we'll get to meet you in person at a convention.
That would be awesome. That's definitely what I'm looking forward to in the future, hopefully. 2021, come through. All right, guys. We'll see you guys Tuesday. Oh my goodness. We have a couple of days off. We'll see y'all Tuesday. Be safe, everybody.
Bye.